Hi guys and girls, so I'm back to uni. I just finished my first week of my last year, which is incredibly scary because it doesn't seem like it was that long ago I was sat here telling you I just applied for uni, so that's great. So I'm very sorry if my uploading has been slightly less frequent than it has been over the summer holiday, but alas, although there is the negative that I cannot upload as frequently, there is the positive that I go to uni right next to a Homesense, so I've got a lot more Halloween hauls to film. So let's jump right back in to the Homesense hauls with a little update. So in my previous, one of my previous Homesense hauls, I did show you this mirror. I absolutely love this mirror. I've had so many questions about it, and actually quite a few comments have told me that you can buy this mirror in Michael's, I believe, in America. So there you go, if you live in America, you can get your hands on this mirror. But the reason I'm showing you this again, I'm not going to go fully into detail, but I will leave a link down below if you'd like a full detailed review of it. But I have painted these roses. They were bright pink, but after listening to you guys' recommendations, I have painted the roses and I've brushed them with black to give them this kind of darkened, reddy look. I guess it kind of goes with my hair quite well. So yes, I'm very pleased with how this mirror turned out, and I just thought I'd give you a little update because I do often ask your guys' opinions and then never tell you what I actually do with them. So the first thing in this Homesense haul is a cat. Yes, I know that you've seen this cat before, but I got it a friend. So as you guys know, I was on a major hunt for this cat. I looked everywhere for him, and in the end the Midnight Crafter bought him for me. He's definitely still my favourite Halloween find of this year, as he is a very sassy black cat with very green eyes. So I absolutely love this. It's still my favourite thing that I found this year. However, I was notified by my ghoul gang that there was a second black cat with green eyes in a completely different position. So as you can see, these guys are definitely 110% made by the same company. They have the same sort of facial features. They kind of look the same. They both look kind of grumpy and done with all the Christmas decorations, which are now appearing in Homesense. However, it is in a slightly different position. He's definitely a little bit longer and he's kind of in this arched position. I do love myself an arched Halloween cat. So this is how the cat looks, and I've had quite a journey to get my hands on one of these guys. A lovely lady on my Facebook groups did actually buy me one, and then not long after she bought it I went to my Homesense and they had one there. So she ended up refunding me the money I sent her so I could buy this one, and then she sold that one to the Kilted Goth. And then I went back again and I bought another one of these cats for a lady in Ireland to send to her. So basically I've kind of had 3 of these cats. One of them is mine, one of them is now the Kilted Goths, and the other one is on its way to Ireland. So much like the other guy, this guy is very detailed. His fur is so detailed that it's kind of almost scratchy, and he's got these big fluffy cheeks coming out either side. He has very over-exaggerated pointy ears, which I absolutely love, and this kind of grumpy face, but at the same time this one almost looks like it's smiling, like it's planning something evil. And then this one goes into an arched back, so as you can see, again, they've really kind of over-exaggerated this like back fur. I love the fact that it's not just like zigzags all the way along. I love that it's kind of clumpy. Definitely gives it a bit more of a realistic look in a cartoony way, if that makes any sense. And as you can see, this is proper arch. I love all the kind of attention to detail, so they've kind of bulked out his tummy a little bit and brought it back in around like his hip bones. So they've really kind of thought about the anatomy of a cat, and this detail does carry on to the back as well. And then we'll go down to his legs. So he is in the arch position, so his front paws are kind of stuck out, and you can see that he's kind of got little bends in his legs here, again with very over exaggerated fluff. And then his legs are very kind of realistic. Again, they've kind of really thought about where the muscles go, and it comes down to here. Now the only difference I'd say with like the classic arch Halloween cat is his tail is kind of curved between his legs, which, don't get me wrong, I like, and I feel like it's probably partly to kind of help stabilize him, because as you can see there's not really much for him to be standing on, so it kind of gives it a little bit more stability. And I definitely feel like for this cat anyway it works very nicely. But his tail curves around like this. When I carry him, I tend to carry him like this, as if he was like a teapot, and then his tail curves around here. And again, much like the other cat that we got, his tail is very exaggerated, it's very curly, and it's just absolutely amazing. I have got so many messages about this cat. You guys have been amazing. You knew that I was after this guy, and then as soon as you guys saw that this one had come out in stores, everyone freaked out and sent me messages. He is actually available to buy on TK Maxx online at the moment, so if you are after one of these ones in this position, you can get him from there. But unfortunately, I don't think I've seen any of these sitting ones around at all now, which is a shame because I know a lot of you people were after them, but you can now get him in this position. So this is how this lovely little cat looks. Now, along with all of your messages telling me about it, I did get a few messages from people who assumed I already had it, so good assumptions there. And they were asking me, does his eyes light up? Because as you can see, there is no on and off switch at the bottom, unlike how this one had one on its bum. Now, this one is slightly different. I'm not sure why it's like this, but the on-off switch is kind of in its back. So this is a kind of piece that you'd probably want to put up against a wall or something, because I don't think that this is like the nicest looking on and off switch. They have made it black so it doesn't show up so much as if it was white, but still it does look slightly like our cat's had a little circle shaved out of its back. But at least it's on its back and not its front, hey? So there was a little plastic tab in there just protecting the batteries, and then we have our on and off switch. So when I turn him round, look at those green eyes staring right into your soul. They are so bright. I'm really hoping on camera you can see. My camera just cannot take how bright his eyes are. They are the kind of eyes that you are not going to want to be looking into for too long, because these bulbs that they've put in here are extra strong. So I'm super happy that I have got a second one of these black cats with green eyes. My only issue is I had the perfect place for my sitting one. He was living on top of my vivarium, and now I've got this guy and I have no idea where to put him because he is slightly larger and takes up a little bit more space. But I could not turn him down. Again, he cost me $12.99, which is the same price as the sitting one. So they're at the exact same price. As you can see, they were very obviously made by the same company. And as I said, you are able to purchase this spooky dude off of the TK Maxx website. So that is the first thing which I got from Homesense. He is definitely top of my favourite things which I bought so far. So the next thing I have actually taken out of its packaging, and again it cost me $12.99. I bought a cute little table runner. So it came on this like actual hanger, but I saved it just so I could show you kind of how it came. So it's sort of folded up on here. It's called a table runner. It is 41 centimeters by 183 centimeters, so it's very long. And just in case you can buy this company elsewhere, it is made by the company Gramercy Studio, or however you pronounce that, and it has two little shiny skulls at the top. I did actually see a picture of these Halloween runners appear on one of my Halloween groups, and I thought that they were a myth. I was like, surely I would have seen them by now. There was a few different designs. There's like a black one with a pumpkin on the end. There's one of like dancing skeletons, but they weren't dancing enough, if that makes sense. I thought they were cute, but like they could have been dancing a bit more. There was definitely some skull ones, but the one which I absolutely loved was this tea line pumpkin witch melody, which this one is. Now again, while filming this video, this is still available online, but I know a lot of people are after these because they can be used for much more than just a table runner. So I bought this even though I didn't have a table to run it along, because I thought it looked perfect to kind of lie across the end of my bed. And when I got it home, it is the perfect size because it is long enough to start at the back of my bed, to run all the way down to the front of my bed, and then hang down to the floor. So that gives you a bit of an idea of how it would look on a double bed. My bed is up against the wall, so obviously it would look a bit different if you were having it hanging like equally over the side, but still I'd feel like you'd get like a good amount hanging down. So this is a gorgeous table runner. I have not seen these in the UK before. However, I've not really looked for them before, so I'm not sure if we have had them. But it is this beautiful piece of fabric. It is very long, as you can see, and it's a super nice quality. Like when I opened it up, one, I was shocked by how long it was, and I was also really shocked by the quality. So along the bottom we have all of these Halloween houses. Now the houses do repeat. So let's see, this house here, this grey one, is then repeated there. So as you can see, like you've got from here to here worth a pattern that is repeated. Now that is only the houses, because the pumpkins at the bottom are a completely different story. They repeat on their own other agenda. And then in the sky we have like lots of lovely little stars, but we have witches, and these witches are kind of random. So they have two two of the same one, and then we have one with a black cat, then a kind of more promiscuous looking witch. We then have a full moon dead in the center of this. We then have one of these witches with her hair flying, and then we're kind of back to the original witch, and then one with a cat on. So it seems like they've been a little bit random when it comes to what the witches are. So this pattern is kind of repeating, but not, if that makes sense. I feel like that works quite nicely, because I feel like with the buildings you wouldn't really notice how repetitive the pattern is. It's more kind of the spooky features like the witches and the pumpkins which you'd pay a little bit more attention to. So this fabric itself is definitely not a cotton. It doesn't actually say what it's made out of, but it tells you not to iron or wash it or pretty much do anything with it. So this, I don't know if it would work that well as a table runner, because if you're anything like me, you're always spilling everything. So if you were to spill something on this, you can't really wash it. Guess you could hand wash it, but it's definitely more of like a synthetic, like shinier fabric, but it still feels nice. Like it still feels like a nice quality. I just maybe wouldn't use this kind of around food. The front of it is this shiny fabric. It's nice and colourful, as you can see, and it's just really, really pretty. And then it is also lined in this black, almost like silky fabric. Again, definitely not cotton, more like a polyester, but it is sort of lined, and it does give you almost like a quilted feel, if that makes sense. It has a nice thickness to it. And then right on the actual very end there are these kind of fluffy tassely trim thing going on, which again, not a feature they needed, but definitely a feature that finishes off the whole thing. Okay, so actually it does have a little label on it, and it does say that it is 100% polyester, spot clean only, and it is exclusively of decoration. So yes, this is my new table runner, which actually I'm using as a bed runner. You could obviously buy this and use it for various different things. You could cut it up and make it into tiny little spooky cushions or maybe pillow covers. There's a lot of fabric that you can use here. I am tempted to go buy another one and sort of cut up and use the fabric, because for £12.99 you are getting a lot of fabric here. I'm really, really pleased with it. It's a super, super nice quality for the price and for the purpose which I'm going to be using it for, and I'm sure you're going to be seeing it somewhere. Well, I'm going to probably lay it underneath all this stuff so you won't see it when I'm filming. So those were two of the things which I got from Homesense. Honestly, it is so dangerous having a Homesense this close to where I go to uni, because I go to an hour's lecture and I think, I might as well just pop into Homesense to make this drive worthwhile, and then I spend all my petrol money on Halloween things. I shouldn't complain really, because the Christmas stuff is coming in now, and officially TK Maxx and Homesense have finished their Halloween deliveries, which is really sad. It means everything that you see in store is everything that you're going to get. So if you're planning to do some Halloween shopping and you haven't been yet, go. Like, go now. But just don't buy anything that I want, because there's still a few things that are on my list. So as always, I will leave my playlist down below of all my previous Homesense and TK Maxx hauls. TK Maxx and Homesense are sister companies, so you'll be able to find all of these items in both Homesense and TK Maxx and on the TK Maxx website. So make sure you just have a good look around. I will leave links to everything that you need down in the description below. So thank you very much for watching. If you do have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. If it's sunny where you are, I hope you enjoy the shade, and I'll see you next time. Bye!